everyone, and welcome back to the Between Realities VR podcast. How you doing? It's so great to have you here with us. My name is Alex VR. I am one of the hosts of this show. There are two hosts of this show, and the other one is sitting here next to me. His name's Skiva. Hey, Skiva.
What's up, dude? How you doing?
Pretty good.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm good. I assume you are, but I'll ask anyway.
As always, I am fantastic. There's a lot going on right now in VR, as seems like there always is.
Yeah.
So I'm stoked to talk about it.
You could have used your voice clip there, buddy.
Oh, yeah, right?
We got to get your voice clip for the beginning of the show. I'm doing fantastic. There's a lot going on in VR right now. Things could be worse.
Well, I do not look forward to the day where I'm like, man, life sucks and nothing's happening in VR.
Amen.
Let's end the show. See you later, everybody.
Amen, dude. Amen. I'm just going for the low-hanging fruit. Hey, everyone who is joining us here. We do these shows live on Fridays, and it's Friday right now, and it's live right now. So thank you for joining us here on YouTube. I got Paradise Decay as number one here on my chat log saying, yo to the yo.
P. Diddy.
P. Dizzle,
What
dude.
is happening, buddy?
What's up, man? Good to see you. Mike Newton, bring on the weekend, baby. That's right, dude. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have you bring on the weekend messages at the beginning of these chat logs, bro. Like, man. You kind of messed up. I think you have to stay now.
Like VR stuff and the weekend, right? Like, does it get any better than this, people?
No, it doesn't. Jansen Fox, let's go, dude. Thanks for being here. We got Traveling Man 3775. Hey. Zach Wilder talking about that new PSVR. Yeah, we might talk about that PSVR. It's a pretty sweet looking thing. We got Duggars K. Woohoo, he's in from the start. That's right, baby.
What's up?
Duggars K, thanks for joining us. We got Space Denizen.
What's up, Floyd?
Oh, Andy Obscure Nerd VR. Saw him romping around in Neos with you guys.
Yeah,
this week.
dude, we had fun.
Pretty fun. Virtual Steve, yo. What's up,
Steve?
baby? He's been balls deep in that Elden Ring, which I actually have been messing around with too. I started playing Elden Ring last night.
That's cool. Yeah, I saw you talking about that on Discord.
Yeah,
that's
dude,
cool.
It feels
nice.
like video game history, you know, like all of these like perfect scores coming out for a video game, like so many people losing their minds. Like I feel like it's a big deal. Yeah. Damn. So maybe we'll talk about it, but probably not because this is a fucking VR show. Whoops.
Just used your one F-bomb.
Yes, I did. Hey, Mr. Survivor. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you. Oh, a little gamer tag VR.
GT.
He is a true hero of the VR industry, and we are lucky to have him here in the Between Realities community. Infamous Swiss, the OG homie. Thanks for joining us.
What's up, brother?
We've got Arcanian. Hey, peeps.
Hey,
What's
dude.
up, Arcanian?
How's it going?
Oh, and Jasmine logging into the wrong account and then realizing it, coming into the right account to say hi with her True VR with Jasmine YouTube profile. So
Heck yeah. What's up,
thanks
Jazz?
for writing that up and making sure that you say hi properly. It's great to see you all. So
that it is.
This is a pretty fun episode that we've got in store.
Dude, I know. I'm so stoked, right? Like this is like a real life homie of mine, right? Like I'm so stoked. Like me and our guest Shortstack hang out all the time in VR. Have a lot of crazy adventures in the metaverse and play lots of games, shoot lots of stuff together. He's just such an awesome dude. I'm stoked to have him on.
We're definitely stoked to have him on. So let's bring him on. Right? Like, what are we doing? We're like talking about the guy like he's not connected to the call, listening to our every word. Please, everybody, welcome to Between Realities Shortstack VR. Yo.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Dude.
How's it going, everybody?
What is up, brother?
What's up, man? Thank you for joining us on this lovely, lovely Friday.
Yeah, for sure. You bet.
Yeah.
This will be fun.
Heck yeah.
I'm a little nervous, so.
He's a little nervous. Well, you shouldn't be, all right? Because you're here with your good pal Skiva, and
right.
it's amazing to watch you guys just like running around in virtual reality together all the time, like I love VR. Everyone here loves VR. And I think I said last week on the show that's like insane. Like I love VR. I put the headset on multiple times every day and it still is like pales in comparison to the amount of times that this guy's got his headset on all day long. You know what I mean? So in those times when I'm nowhere to be seen, Skiva's romping around in the metaverse with you and Tribe, and you guys are just getting into all kinds of crazy antics.
Yep, lots of shenanigans, lots of craziness. Yeah. Oh, I should have played that Matrix. I should have had that Matrix video that we did kind of queued up.
Neos, that video is pretty rad. Tribe
It really
did a
is.
good job.
It really is. I'm surprised it didn't get more views. I'm like, you know, maybe it's because I helped make it. I'm like, this is awesome. Everyone's going to love this.
For sure.
Well, but I don't, you know, people are kind of still, I think, learning about some of the like content creation opportunities that exist when you're like in a platform like Neos, you know, like our friends V Bunny and Hambone over at V Bunny Go, they've been doing a lot in Neos and like learning how to kind of move cameras around and make scenes happen and stuff. And it's cool to see you guys too, like dipping your feet in the water and like kind of recreating scenes. What you guys are talking about now is a recreated scene from The Matrix that you guys did, where, you know, it was like shot for shot, like really good, like was it like framing and like camera?
Yeah, we really tried hard to kind of make it all the same, and it worked really well.
Yeah,
we definitely try to line everything up. So we would just have the video in the background playing scene for scene, and then we'd try to like get the camera going. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
It looked pretty good, but apparently it wasn't very good. Otherwise, you would have gotten a bunch of likes and shares and stuff like that. You know, just try harder next time, I guess.
Right.
So
for sure.
So first things first, you know, I think we should get to know Stacks a little bit. All right, we're gonna call him Stacks. That's what that's like the cool nickname that he has.
That's
you know?
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the cool nickname, you know. But ShortstackVR, right? And I made a joke in our description saying that you're not a pancake gamer, you know. But I am curious, like, were you or are you a pancake gamer? And when did virtual reality kind of enter your life? And you know, and now you have a channel. Like, how did all of this kind of start up, man?
So I was a huge pancake gamer. I loved like survival games, a lot of FPSs, like, you know, like Rust, Ark, like builders, and you like make homes and go raid people's bases and stuff. Super into those style pancake games. But I was always like super skeptical about virtual reality, and just in the past, like 2016, 2018, I didn't really have any interest in it. Didn't really think it was going to be what I feel like it is now. It's absolutely mind blowing. Yeah, I just didn't really look into it a whole lot. And I was like, one day at work, a friend was, he's like, dude, I just got an Oculus headset. It was the Oculus Quest, the first one. And he brought it to work and he's like, dude, you got to try this out. He put me in this room. I can't remember what game it was, but it just absolutely mind blowing. I went home and I was like talking to my wife about, I really want to get one. But then I kind of just put it off, you know, I had a lot on my plate doing videos and editing for like weddings and then also working at Boeing for my day job and stuff. So I didn't, you know, I don't know. And then it was like, I don't know, a few weeks a few months down the road, I had another friend when I was over having like dinner with, we're having like a couple's dinner style thing. And he was like, dude, I just got the Quest 2. And I tried Beat Saber, and we played literally all night while our wives were just on the couch watching TV. And it was the most fun I've ever had. And, so I was like, you know what? I looked at my wife. I'm like, I'm going to buy one right now. And it was right when the Quest 2 just came out. What was that? Like 2020, like November-ish time,
Yeah,
I think.
Sounds right about there.
We don't have any concept of time. Like, we don't look at years or like months. Like,
what a weird jumbled time in history that was, right? That was still like deep in the trenches of the COVID pandemic. Do you know what I mean? Sure. It was like really, so it was all kind of a blur. It was all a weird time. But I'll tell you what, man, thank God for VR, because VR really got me through that. It really did. Like, I never for a minute felt lonely. I never felt like I didn't get to see my friends. You know, I was there face to face with my friends doing stuff all the time. It was nuts.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I cheated. I feel like I cheated the pandemic.
Yeah, but I did just time travel to like when I first started getting into VR, when I'm listening to you talk about like staying up all night playing Beat Saber, because like that first chunk of time with VR, it's like you just play that one game all night long, and like it is just like it's like the coolest arcade thing in the world has been brought into your home, and you're like, there's no line for this. Like, I don't have to like
forget any of that
turns,
stuff.
you know, like it's
all here.
It's so awesome. So you got into it with your buddy, and then the Quest 2 comes out, and he gets it or you get it, or remind me where we are.
Yeah, so I ended up going out that night, or it was that night we both hopped in the car, went to Best Buy. They had 2 left, and I picked it up, and from there on out, I was like fully blown addicted to VR. Like I was trying to convince all my pancake gamer friends that play Tarkov right now, like a hardcore shooters and stuff. I was like, dude, you guys have to check out virtual reality. This is absolutely nuts. It's crazy. You have to try it. At least try it. Come over and I'll throw a headset on you, and I can show you around some easy games so you don't get sick. And not to mention, like when I first got into it, like pretty avidly, I was super sick for like 6 months. I had to really like train myself. I was on a verge of really returning the headset because I got super sick. What's the first game that I like downloaded as soon as I brought it home was the roller coaster game. I had family and friends over.
Dang.
I like set everything up for like full immersion. I grabbed a fan out in the garage. I set up a chair, and we were all sitting there doing this roller coaster. And then I turned it on like the shooting one or like level or whatever, and I was just out for the count. I had to lay down on the couch. I think it took a nap for like 6 hours, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this again. It's crazy.
Ouch.
So immediately from there, I took to Reddit. I was like, has anybody gotten over VR sickness? Is it possible? Can you retrain your brain style thing? And there was a lot of helpful things on there. Like the most thing that helped me was to play for literally like 2 to 5 minutes and then take the headset off and come back the next day. It was crazy.
So
but I was able to work through it.
When you mean like you play for 2 to 5 minutes, do you mean like you play until the second you feel uncomfortable and then pull it off?
Yeah, the second I feel uncomfortable, I pulled it off.
Yeah,
it sucked because I just want a game, I just want to play. But
a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people online say, just push through it. I'll tell you, that is the absolute worst thing you could ever do. As soon as you feel sick, you need to get out, because if you try to push through it, you're going to get so sick that the sickness is going to last for a really long time. You'll probably throw up. Your body is telling you something and sending you a signal that it thinks something's wrong. And in all, this is a good thing, right? Because back in the day, like, if you were foraging for some food and you ate something wrong, right? Your body's like, uh-oh, something's going on here. We got to throw it up. We got to get rid of this. And it made you sick to remove the poison from your body, right? And now we have VR, and it thinks you've been poisoned because your senses aren't lining up with what you're seeing, right? So pushing through it is not the way to go. It's not the way to go. No. And we actually have VR with Jasmine in the chat too, and she has she's got a great video on how to get through some VR sickness stuff. She's got like these cool magnetic bracelets and like all of this stuff, all these tricks to push through some of this stuff. But yeah, never try to just get through it. Just stop, come back. Eventually your brain.
So when I was so mind blown by virtual reality, I bought a headset for my brother. I went halves on a headset for another friend. And then I had another friend that I kind of like convinced to get one, and 2 of them, they have like some weird motion sickness deal. Like it was so bad for them at first. So I made the mistake. I'm a terrible friend. I didn't know a whole lot in the beginning, right? So. And I should have known because of how sick I got, but I brought them into like a walking in the world game while you're standing still, and it's not what you want to do.
Thumbstick
but I thought they would be fine, But they got so sick from that now when they watch like virtual reality streams online, it like gives them the goosebumps and they start getting sick and they have to walk away, even on a flat screen, by just like watching that head camera shake from the headset. Just ruins it. It's crazy.
That's wild. What a problem to have to try to get through, right? This is like a serious barrier, right? When someone feels sick from doing something, it's pretty rare that they come back to it, because when you get sick from doing something, it's not a good experience. Why are you going to do it again?
Right.
No,
And I mean,
they
all of
haven't
us,
touched it
like,
since.
we put the headset on, and like, I mean, for people like us, it's instant. Like, we immediately realize how cool what we're doing is. You know, it's like, boom, it's like, okay, no, this is the most awesome thing ever. I feel like I'm in this place. I put this headset on, and now I've been transported to a new world. And you start to feel a little motion sick from that, and then you take it off reluctantly, you know. But there's a lot of people who are like not convinced for VR, not convinced of VR, and you put them in the headset, they're like reluctant and what's the word? They're like suspicious or whatever, you know. They're like, what's the word? Apprehensive, maybe?
Yeah.
They're like apprehensive. They're like not in a hurry to like it. And then the second they feel uncomfortable, boom, now they've got an out and they like never need to touch it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh no, that thing makes me sick. Like I've talked to VR about people or with people before, and they're just like, oh no, that makes me sick and I'll never use it again. You know, it's like, oh damn, that's a bummer.
That is a bummer, man. That's a super bummer.
Yeah. But we have plans to like dive even further into this topic soon, don't we? Don't we have like a guest coming on?
We
We're
do.
gonna talk about that.
Our next 2 shows, we have multiple panels of guests per show. It's going to get pretty wild with devs and like CEOs of some big game companies that are coming to talk to us. And we got panel topics, and you know we'll get into
motion sickness. It's a pretty important topic. I mean, I don't want to like you know talk about it every single week or anything, but it is important. Like
super important.
Like,
we got to get through it, because otherwise, how the heck is the entire world? Like, imagine if people originally found the iPhone and they're like, "This is so awesome," right? And then they got half of the people got sick from using it. Like, would it be where it is today?
Yeah.
So we got to get through this. We have to figure out a way to solve this motion sickness issue. It's super important.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
For sure.
So yeah.
So you know, you guys get into it, you get sick for a while, but you push through. And this whole time you are a filmmaker, right? Or you make what? Tell us a little bit about that.
So I'm not trying to plug my other channel or anything, but I go by ShortStack on my other spot. ShortStack Films or whatever, but I do a lot of like weddings and real estate videos and like fun like trip videos and stuff like that. So I've been into making videos for a long time, ever since I was a young kid, and like recreating movies and doing stuff like that. But I ended up making like kind of a side business while I worked at Boeing, building airplanes and stuff, doing just those side, I guess, hustles to kind of fund my camera gear that I was getting to do all these jobs and have fun doing it, and trying to like up my game and figure out like new ways of how I can shoot things with natural lighting and all that jazz. But as far as like for VR, there was when I used to stream to Twitch here and there just for the heck of it. Under that same name, I would do like edits and all that stuff, or play Tarkov, like some hardcore FPS, or you know, just any FPS, or build survival games. And I stopped doing Twitch. It was just kind of like off and on. And when I got my headset, I was playing Half-Life Alyx. I played it all the way through, but there's a point halfway in Half-Life Alyx where you encounter Jeff. And Jeff, there's this one part, I don't know, hopefully I don't spoil this for everybody watching, but there's this one part in Half-Life where you have to like try to get him locked into a room to get the garage door up to get by. I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. I didn't know you had to get him locked in that room to roll the garage door up. So I was throwing bottles constantly just to get him away from me and trying to roll the door up at the same time. But there was this one part where like I'm rolling the door up halfway through. I'm focused on it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to run. I'm just going to sprint right through. And I look to my left. I see Jeff. I full on like IRL sprint and hit like my safe here that's behind the camera, like with my headset. And I'm like, why am I not recording this?
Yeah.
So from there on out, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start another little channel called ShortstackVR, and that's just what I do since I'm so in love with VR, and that's all I do there. So, and that's what I've been doing recently, or not recently, for the last year. I guess it'd be probably about a year full of just like straight VR. That's all I did. All I do.
It's awesome. So there's links to Stax's channel in the description below, and it's also on the monitor right below me as well. You should definitely check it out because it is some very entertaining streaming, and Stax is very engaging with the audience, and just it's really good. It's really good content. So if you want to watch some good VR content, make sure you subscribe to Stax, and while you're at it, subscribe to us. That'd be cool too.
Just subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to everything.
You know, it really is like your edited videos that like were like jaw dropping for me. You know, like you really you've made a couple of videos now, and you made a Haptics video, which is when I really started paying attention, where like the vest is like floating in the middle of your room, and you're like warping in and out of each game, and like encountering all of these entities who you're like discussing haptics with, and it's just next level, man. Like you can tell that you know what you're doing when you are editing these videos and putting them together. So nicely done.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, like I'm kind of a psycho because I like doing those long form edits. It's just they take so long. So I liked doing the live streams in between on the same YouTube channel just to kind of until I get an idea, and then when I get an idea, you see me disappear for 2 weeks, you know what's going on.
Nice.
Pretty much.
There's an effect that you pulled off in this video where as I was watching, I was like, dude, like I should be doing this. I mean, I'm not making as many videos right now as I was last year, but you did this effect with the haptic, the feedback overlay where like the images of the sensors are like transposed onto your body wearing the vest, and as you're turning your body, like the angle at which the haptic overlay that is being displayed is changing as well. And I'm sure if we leave this video up for long enough, we'll see some of it. But how do you do that?
So I live in Adobe After Effects, and so what you have to do, it's kind of a nightmare, but you would take each scene that you would kind of plan for it. You take each scene that you want to track the inputs. So like whatever triggered, I would cut those and make sure that those are overlaid on top. And then in After Effects, what I would do is I would go to the tracker tab, and I would track 2 points on my vest. And it was a nightmare. I say this because when you're doing anything tracking or like 3D tracking, you want to have like points of like on your green screen, you want to have like orange X's, or it just makes your life easier when you're doing tracks. So you can put a scene in and then you can mask out those like orange points. But with the vest, there's nothing on there to really track. It's all contrast. So I was having a hard time finding points on the vest. So I like had it track 1 point tracked to the top and one tracked to the bottom. And most of the time I was doing it frame by frame, which was kind of a nightmare. But once you get that tracking done, you can attach the overlay to the vest and then size it properly and create some keyframes to get it to move with the vest and stuff. It's pretty intricate, but I can definitely show you one of these days.
Yeah,
if you
I
want.
mean, you know, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I won't. I don't know. You know? It sounds like a lot. But the effect is amazing. I wish this video that we were showing. It's about to right here. Yeah. See, look at that, dude. Like that's really awesome. It really does a great job of like conveying what it feels like to wear that, or at least like to like convey like which motors are firing, you know, and like just helps make it a lot more real when you see those lights firing up on the vest, like while it's on your body. That's amazing, man. So like, is the hard part over, or is it like, would it take that much effort every time at this point? Like,
you can
use,
kind
like,
of
template,
end up creating some presets for like your, so like when you go to key and all that stuff, you can create presets for all that. That'll speed it up a little bit, but the tracking is so variable unless you like attach like bright colors to the black vest. So like maybe red or orange. So then when you go to track, it would track really fast and it's super easy. But I wasn't thinking at the time, so I had to kind of just do everything by hand. But now that I have a better idea, I could totally make it a lot faster. Nice.
And here's in this video, you guys are running around in Sojourner Island. It was the island that was designed for a Haptics event that we did last year. And I feel like this was like, you were still pretty new to Neos at this point, weren't you?
Super new. Yeah. Neos, Skiva brought me. I was like, so I hopped into Neos. I think I remember seeing this video or the time that you guys had all the creators go in and check out this island. And I downloaded it and I hopped in. I was like, oh my God, my brain is melting. What do I do from this tutorial? And then like a couple months down the road, I was like, Skiva, could you possibly show me around Neos? And he was like, hell yeah, we'll hop in together and I'll show you around. I'll take you to, it's right when I got my vest too. I was like, I kind of want to make a video about it. Can we go to that island? He's like, oh yeah, for sure. So he took me there and showed me all the things and gadgets that you can do, things you can create. My mind was blown. I don't know. It's so cool. I've spent a decent amount of time in VR chat. So going into Neos and being able to do stuff while you're in VR is pretty cool. Like tinkering with things.
Yeah, it's a whole new level, man. Neos, I talk about it a lot, right? And I'm sure people are sick of me talking about it, but I'm repping the shirt and everything today. What's up?
Heck
but
yeah.
It is literally, the closest thing we have to the Ready Player One Oasis. Anything you think of, anything that you can imagine is you can do right then and there. You're like, oh, I wish this gun did this thing. You just pop it up, like grab your dev tip, pop it open, get into inspector window, add whatever drivers you need to the object, and boom, it's done. You can import 3D models in the fly with the in-game file browser. You can do anything. The only limitation in Neos is your mind. If you can't think of it, you can't do it. That's like literally the only limitation.
Well, that
it's
and performance.
Sure. Performance. Okay. So yeah, you're right. So you can get a little crazy in Neos, and it's just like any other game engine, right? If you don't optimize the things that you make, it can get a little crazy. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, when people are starting to pull everything out of their inventory and there's just so much going on.
One person enters the world and like the frame rate drops in half.
Yeah, well, so what you can do is you can also like do anything you want to your own avatar, right? So some people come in and they have every single little part of them, every piece of cloth, everything is a dynamic bone and is using the physics engine, right? And if you have a couple people come in with crazy avatars like that, yeah, it can kind of drain your PC. And not everyone has a monster rig, even my 3090 can struggle sometimes.
So do you think that the Viverse is going to crash your computer?
Oh God.
Hey, what's going on with that?
Yeah, that's a really, really good question. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if HTC knows what's going on with that. Like I asked them, I'm like, how do I get into this? I want to try this out. And they haven't replied to me or anything.
Crickets.
Yeah, exactly. Crickets.
Well, to me, I don't know. First of all, like 3 hours before they post about it, they put out one of their signature teaser images.
Yeah.
Which I like bit my tongue. I'm not really like opinionated on Twitter. Like if I'm gonna be opinionated, I usually am gonna do it on this show. But like my Twitter account is just like, I don't know, slightly more, professional, I guess. Like I'm just like sharing work stuff and
I wish I had that.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I yell a lot.
Yes,
I
you
get in
do.
a lot of
But I did bite
people.
my tongue on this one, because I would have said something to the effect of like, yo, like don't get excited, people, okay? Because the last 2 times that Vive has done this, they put out some product that
no one really cared about.
And they take advantage of all of the consumers' hype to push a product that they're not going to use, and that pisses me off. So at this point, I like have very little faith in Vive's ability to like market me something good. And this personally, just to me, looks like it's just like, oh, everyone's paying attention to what Facebook is doing. Let's do one.
Yeah, well, I think that the metaverse concept and this type of world building and being able to collaborate with people and meet with people, I think it's probably one of the most important things. I think it's the front of a whole new revolution of being and how people will ultimately communicate in the future and buy things in the future and hang out. And, and everyone right now is going to take a stab at this because the one that sticks is going to make more money than the world has ever seen. like for real, you know, like, so this part of the video right here is what really busted a lot of people's chops, right? Like someone clicks on a glass of wine in the metaverse and all of a sudden they're drinking the glass of wine in real life. So this stuff is a little silly, you know, and maybe not well thought out. I think right here is where this video lost a lot of credibility, because everyone's like, oh, this is horse crap. This is impossible. So, you know, I mean, I don't know exactly what they were thinking with some of this marketing, right? Because they know how vocal everyone is when they come out with something. And I can't imagine that someone didn't look at this and go, you know, you're going to get a lot of slack for this, right? All they had to do was cut out a couple of key scenes and it wouldn't have been as bad.
Chromasnare in chat says that HTC did present a follow-up video today that gives more info. And I see that now on their Twitter page. And it's a 10-minute long video, so it looks like they do dive into it a little bit more. And
that's cool.
Homegirl's here talking about it. I forget her name, like the CEO of HTC.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's in this video and she's yakking at us, telling us how businessy this is.
And you know, ultimately, we're going to see a lot of this. We're going to see a lot of companies that are going to attempt to pull something like this off. And like I said, the one that sticks, you know, or the one that has, I should say, the one that is great, that has the most ports in and out. Like I've talked to Stacks about this a bunch of times, right? Where we're in Neos, and it would be really, really great to be able to pull out like a Beat Saber and we both grab it, right? And all of a sudden we're both teleported into Beat Saber. We're automatically placed in a multiplayer environment and we're ready to go. And I think ultimately that's kind of what all this is going to come down to. But it's going to take everyone to get involved, right? Because the game developers have to be like, okay, and they have to build in APIs and there's security issues. And it's just, everyone has to be able to do this together. And right now, I think Neos is the closest. They're working on shared web browsing, being able to jump around from Neos into different WebXR experiences together and travel throughout the internet together. Right. And that's way more metaversey than anything else that we've seen. Everything else is pretty self-contained, and that's not really what a metaverse is. Like, imagine an internet where you can only go to one company's website, right? So we don't want that. We need an open platform where everyone can go everywhere and everything works together. And this is just the very beginning, right? And I know it's annoying to a lot of people because these companies are trying real hard to pull this off. And this is just the beginning. But we should all get used to it because I think we're going to see a lot of it.
Yeah, currently, like what I see, like just looking at videos that are edited this way, is I wonder if they're just shooting for investors at this point.
I think so.
You know? Because it's not really realistic yet.
Right.
I don't know.
And it's like, I don't know. Like I look at this, and I look at like the marketing that Facebook has been doing or Meta's been doing, and I guess I shouldn't expect it to like make sense to me, because they don't really need it to, like I already know, you guys already know. They need people who don't already know, who have had the opportunity to already know and who have passed on it to like change their minds, or to like start paying attention, or to like, they like need to like shake these people and like get them to start knowing some of the things that we know and start having some of the conversations that we have. So it's probably true that like this isn't designed to like make me get an understanding of what the
just like OC7
this all is about, right? Like when and so I really am interested to like just like fly into the future and then like see what things are like and watch some of these like old like proof of concept videos that companies put out for these like emerging technologies, because this is like a thing that is kind of new in this day and age. Like when, the phone was being invented, they weren't releasing promotional videos like showing someone hold on a second, and gets into the other room and picks up a device, and now they're talking to their grandma, and it's like showing the use case for it, and then like, oh yeah, that's a good recipe. And then they make the food and it's like the phone, make a recipe that your grandma tells you in real time, and so they're like trying to illustrate how that's going to be used and, in what ways you should give a shit about it.
Yeah.
And we're kind of in a spot right now where like, that's probably not how it's going to look. And that's not how it's going to feel. And people aren't going to clink glasses of wine, but maybe you really like wine and this technology like is a way to get you to learn more about it, just like the internet was. Like, oh, wine, I can go on the internet, search for wine, you know, and like I can imagine a video about the emerging internet showing a winemaker like going on a website and then going out to his field and use the internet to become a better wine person, you know.
So all of these metaverses, whether it be Horizon or Viveverse or Neos or VR Chat or Rec Room or any of these things, they're all so important because ultimately in the future, all of these companies and all of the investors that want to make this happen are going to be looking at all of these solutions. And the way awesome tech happens is you look at all the different things and you take all the great things that these things are, all, you know, the pieces that each thing is doing well, and you build your own product, and you and the whole concept evolves and evolves and evolves until you get something awesome. The chances of hitting a home run right out of the park at the very beginning of the game is so minuscule, right? People like to look at like Apple and be like, oh, Apple did it. But I was into that stuff before Apple had an iPhone, right? People don't usually remember things like the Palm Pilot and stuff like that, right? A lot of companies were trying to do this before Apple was looking at all of it going, what sucks with this? What's good with this? And they took all the good stuff and they put it into one product along with customer feedback and really figured out what it was that people did want. But at that time, people didn't know they wanted it. Just like right now, people don't know that they want the metaverse until someday they put on some glasses that are about this thick and they're transported into a place with all their friends where they can go shopping, they can hang out and go bowling, they can go to a concert, and everything looks amazing. And it's effortless and it's awesome. But right now is the time where it's just going to hurt a little for all of us early adopters that are sitting here watching this happen. So
yeah, there's like a lot of flooded information. Like a lot of it's kind of sort of to me BS in a way, and then soon it'll eventually iron itself out into what we're
it will. So I ask all of the people and our listeners to have some patience, because this is a future that I want, and I know it's maybe not a future that everyone wants, but this is a future that I want. And if we want to see something like the metaverse evolve into something awesome, we have to let all the crap happen. So
the VR realm, Mr. Paul dropping $2.
Oh yeah, buddy.
Calling European dollars in the chat, two of them.
Thank you.
HTC needs to get back to consumer hardware. I agree.
They do, but but you know, I got a lot to say about HTC sometimes, and I so HTC, man, I want to be nice. I really always strive to try to be nice too, but HTC's major success was a product that someone else designed. Valve had everything to do with the research and development and design of the original HTC Vive, right? And then they partnered with Vive to mass produce it, distribute it, and support it, right? And then Vive started doing things on their own because they couldn't get their part of it right. And they were pissing people off, and it wasn't a good situation for Valve. So they started doing their own thing, and now they're manufacturing their own VR headsets and controllers and all that. But ever since, the only success HTC has had was revisions on the current, on the original headset that Valve designed. Anytime they ever strayed away from that and used different technologies, they failed. Their success is all Valve's. I don't know at this date and time that HTC has what it takes. That can change, right? That can definitely change, but it's going to take new management, and it's going to take people that want to listen to the community, and it's going to take people that have more of a forward-thinking mind that can see outside of right now, right? And we can't be putting out $500 headsets that connect to your phone that give you garbage experiences for a premium price and say, look, everyone, this is the future, like the Vive Flow.
Vive must be just done with like consumer gaming. VR, right? Like
Because they can't do it. They keep trying. They keep failing.
Because if they're making this metaverse thing, this Viveverse, it's not going to be used by me or you.
Right.
It's going to be used by people at companies and like, you know, for work business meetings or work business, for official work business. You know, it's like that's the way it's going to be used, you know, and you don't see any of those people like playing a game, you know, or slicing a block. They're looking up their laundry and they're looking at their grocery list, and you know, it's like very like, I don't know, it's like
but what's weird is they have one of the coolest gaming platforms out there. They have Viveport, right? It's like the Netflix of video games. If you have if you have PC VR and you don't want to spend a fortune on playing all the latest games, you get Viveport. You can play everything that you want for a monthly subscription.
I want to learn how to use polls. Because I would love to poll people from time to time. Skiva and I were just talking about Viveport and how I've been subscribed for like 2 years and he's been subscribed for like 2 years and neither one of us have ever used it.
That's unfair though.
I understand that, which is why I almost want to say like chat, like do any of you have a Viveport subscription? And if you do, are you using it?
So I used to use the hell out of my Viveport subscription.
Until you became big ol' Skiva.
Big ol' Skiva.
Mr. Skiva.
Until we started the show and everyone started giving us free games, right? Now my Steam looks like Viveport. Why am I going to open Viveport when I have all the games and everyone's giving me all the games, right? It doesn't make sense. So to a normal consumer, this is absolutely an amazing way to go. It's going to save you so much money and you're going to get to play so many different things. But we don't need that.
The one time I went to go use it, it was to play To the Top with Skiva, and it turns out that they pulled the multiplayer functionality out of the Viveport Infinity version of the game. So it's like, wow, they're like castrating these games that they're putting onto this thing. Stacks, what do you think about Viveport Infinity?
I've never used it. I haven't really looked into it all that much either. Well, unfortunately,
it's like it was like 2 years ago they did like a sale or whatever, and it was like $12 for like 2 years of Viveport.
Yeah, it was something ridiculous. It was a Black Friday deal.
Yeah, so I was just like, okay, whatever.
Like a Game Pass style thing, or
it's like Game Pass, but it's for VR.
Okay.
And there's a ton of games on there, and some of them are really good. Like After the Fall is that Viveport Infinity?
It's Viveport. I don't know. I don't think it's on Infinity. I think you actually still have to buy it on there, but it will eventually go to Infinity. I would think most of these games, some of the new games, if they don't get directly into Infinity, they will be pay it first, but then right after the initial hype, they'll usually go down to Viveport Infinity, where anyone can play them as part of the subscription.
Yeah, well, I don't know, dude. I mean, obviously Vive is doing something, you know. They're making promo videos and they're dropping teasers on their Twitter and all that. So,
you know, I really root for these guys.
Totally.
You know, I really want them to come out with something successful. We need more competition and we need more headsets. We need more hardware. We need more games and subscription game passes, and like we need more. We do. It's very important to the ecosystem. In order for competition, it's very important for the consumers because it drives costs down and it brings innovation up. So this is super important. I really want them to do something. They have so many tools. They just need better management.
I like my Vive Pro.
It's a great headset built off of the original Vive with better screens.
Yeah.
Right? But it's the Vive. It's what Valve designed.
Yeah.
It's a damn shame.
Yeah. I'm just a weirdo. I like wireless. I like being wireless. It's
nothing weird
awesome
about that. Everyone loves wireless.
You just use the Quest 2, right, Stacks?
I mean, I was courted with the Link for a long time in the beginning, like playing Half-Life and stuff. But as soon as I got into like virtual desktop and AirLink, it was kind of game over from there. It's just so good.
Yeah.
But like, what if there was an Index or a Vive Pro just like chilling at your crib? It's just like there, you know, like it just shows 100% up. 100%,
I would use it.
You would. Okay.
Sure.
So I really like wireless too, and I have a Quest 2, right? And I have a really sick router that gives me pretty much flawless performance. But 99% of the time, I'm on either my Index or I'm on the Reverb G2, and they're corded, and I choose them over the wireless option that runs very, very well for me. And mostly it's because I spend so much time in VR that when I'm on my Quest, I'll go through 3 batteries. and I'm still not done playing, and I get annoyed that now the headset is making me stop.
Even when you have a battery solution, it's still not a good experience to have to like worry about your battery life
and charge. And you know, the other thing is with the Quest, for some reason, you're playing, you lose time in virtual reality, right? And then all of a sudden the headset turns off. No warnings, nothing to tell you that anything's wrong. Boom, all your progress is gone. You didn't get to save. Everything you did is wasted, and it's a bummer.
I'm pretty sure I have missed those notifications just by being immersed in what I'm doing. Like I've been playing Demio and just zoned in, you know. And all
so you get them a lot when you're playing a native Quest 2 title, but when you're streaming VR games for some reason from virtual desktop and things like that, sometimes they just don't come through. It's not like passed through over the game that you're streaming, and you just don't get the notification at all.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's, you know, I love having the option, honestly. I love having a Quest and I love having a Vive Pro. And I love being able to use the one that I want to use when I want to use it. If you're in a position where you can only own one thing, you know, sure, we can talk about like the headset to own or the approach to have, wired or wireless. But I love having a wired headset that provides me with higher fidelity visuals. And I love having a wireless one that allows me to just go sit on my couch or sit in my bed or whatever if I want to. You know, back to the root of this thing a little bit. The battery life situation is like the biggest deterrent for me, because if I know that I'm sitting down for a lengthy session of something like Demio and my battery is not at 100%, I will default to my wired setup, so that way I don't have to worry about it. I'm like, okay, sweet, I can just play the game and not have to, like, I'm not like, you know, watching the clock the whole time. So
and you know, I will, if I'm going to be in Neos, sometimes I will wake up in the morning, I'll get into Neos, and I won't get out until like 1, 2 in the morning.
Just all
I will be in there for 14, 15 hours. It's insane. It's like
crazy.
A completely different existence. And I get that way too with games like After the Fall, right? Like, I will play them all day long.
Chromasnare says in the chat, seriously, After the Fall is on Viveport Infinity now.
Yeah, there we go.
I bought it on Steam months ago. I hate this. Yeah, like that does kind of suck, right? A little bit. You know, like a game comes out, you're hyped about, you buy it, and then like a couple of months later, it's free on your subscription.
And it's how it works with movies and stuff too. It's pretty rare that a movie goes direct to Netflix.
Yeah, that's
true. You know what I
true.
mean? Like, it usually hits the theater, and then it comes out, and you got to pay for it to rent it through one of the services, and then it hits Netflix or one of the services. It's kind of the same deal, right? They're milking us for what they can get, and you know, they got to fund the game somehow.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It is what it is.
But that game, After the Fall, like that's a reason to go buy a Viveport Infinity subscription.
Heck
you
yeah,
know,
it is.
like, because
Yes, it is.
you could own that. Well, not own it, but you can get that. Oh, actually, you might even be able to own it. And they do a thing where it's like, if you log in, you like get the game for free. You know, like
sometimes
during the
you
time
can.
period.
Yeah,
I think
they have specials like that.
I think they're doing that right now with After the Fall, honestly, where you like log in. It's like, maybe it's on Infinity, but you can like own it.
Yeah,
you know?
and a lot of
then when
times
you
they
go
have
back to
discounted
Viveport, you'll get
rates
it.
too for the games that are on Infinity if you want to own it.
But if you don't have After the Fall, people, which by the way, this hoodie, I was joking yesterday, like, I'm going to be buried in this thing.
Is that thing really embroidered?
It is embroidered, bro.
Oh my
this
God,
After the Fall
wow.
text is embroidered on this hoodie.
really
I love this thing. if I hadn't already gotten married, I'd be walking down the aisle with this.
I have one too. It doesn't fit me, unfortunately.
Yeah,
it didn't come in gymongous size.
It's sick. But if you don't own After the Fall yet, go get a Viveport Infinity and subscription. Play After the Fall and then play everything else
real
too.
Soon, more content. There's more harvest runs. There's horde mode. There's new weapons. There's new enemies. Oh my God, I love this game. I can't even handle it. It was one of my Twitter fights the other day was about After the Fall, because, you know, people are like, I get it. It's not that great. And it's like, and they're like, you work for Vertigo, so your opinion doesn't matter. I'm like, okay, I may work for Vertigo, but I have like 150 hours in this game. Tell me anything that you've put that much time into that you don't like, and you only play it because your company made it.
And all work.
Yeah, like I go in there just for work and I kill zombies, right? Like I clear them out of the Vertigo offices. Like, it doesn't make any sense. People just like to be silly.
Well, I'm stoked for new content.
Heck yeah.
I want a new level. New
we're getting
Run.
lots of stuff, man. We're getting lots of stuff. We're getting, like I said, we're getting a new Harvest Run map. We're getting a new PvP map. We're getting new Horde modes and maps. We're getting guns. We're getting character skins. Dude, it's ridiculous. And this isn't awesome. This isn't it. This isn't where it stops. This is the very beginning of the content that this is going to get. They're going to support this for a long time because it's not just for us, it's also for arcades. And they want this to continue to sell well. And that's why investing in this game is a smart move.
And that Horde mode is probably a match made in heaven for arcades. Because you can just stand there or whatever, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot less movement, not really relying on people to be good gamers as much, you know.
Yeah, for sure. But After the Fall is amazing. Good stuff, right? But I guess we should maybe get back to the metaverse just for a minute because something else happened that I think is really wild. So Zuckerberg came out with a video talking about a new metaverse creation tool that they're working at at Facebook, right? And this is a voice command artificial intelligence bot that you go into like a Horizon scenario and you say, bring me to a park. And you're like, no, cancel that. Bring me to a beach. Right. And then they're like, okay, put an island right over there. Give me some palm trees. Give me some clouds. No, change the kind of clouds. Give me this. And literally this artificial intelligent voice command bot is building these worlds for you just by you pointing and giving descriptions of what it is that you want. That's pretty awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, granted, this is Horizon, right? But
yeah, no legs.
Yeah, no legs. You know, can't have legs in Horizon. But again, this is another awesome thing that other companies will eventually poach from. Right?
It's a great idea, you know, and like thinking about being able to just like speak something into existence. It sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, even though we can actually do that in reality. Well, but doing it in VR is a whole nother thing.
Yes, and I'm like thinking about this DMT trip report I was watching yesterday from Terrence McKenna, where he was talking about encountering these entities, and the entities were like showing him how to like speak things into existence. They're like, do this, do this, like speak stuff, and they were like speaking things and like creating them, like objects and stuff. Yeah. You know, it's like really.
It's kind of what people do.
But honestly, but this to me, when I see this, what I really am seeing is a choose your own adventure storybook. You know, like that's like saying a choose your own adventure book allows you to make any decision you want. You know, which it doesn't. You get to the end of a page and they're like, okay, to spawn an island, turn to page 69, and to spawn a beach blanket, turn to page 420. Right. You know, like it's not like they're all like predetermined, pre-rendered images, pre-selected options and variables, you know, like obviously not what it like claims
but using artificial intelligence, you can have a database full of an incredible amount of things, and as people build and as people do new things, it's stored and the algorithm will learn from it. And that's one of the things that separates something so limiting like a choose your own story adventure to once you start implementing things like artificial intelligence and massive amounts of data. You get something that isn't limitless, but can feel limitless. So we'll see. We'll see what they do with this. This is really exciting stuff. I would love to go into Neos and be like, bring in the Between Realities ship and just poof, it's done. And I didn't just spend months doing it, you know?
Yeah, I do see the potential. You know, I'm like, this proof of concept thing, like I said, to me, I'm not really too impressed seeing something like this work because it's just voice recognition commands choosing a thing that they had set up to be chosen, you know? So
sure.
I'm sorry if I'm not more impressed by this.
No, and we know that Mark Zuckerberg is obviously going to go into this rehearsed doing things that he knows is going to work. Right. So this is scripted and tested, you know, but the concept and the idea behind it is amazing. And like I was saying, with all of these different metaverse applications, it's important that everyone work on this stuff. And even if they're putting out crap, eventually it's going to lead to good things.
Well, I hope so. Sure. And maybe they are a step ahead here, you know, like, because, you know, when they released video of Horizon, just original Horizon, it pretty much promised to be way more than it ended up being, you know, and that was something that they were almost like, I don't want to say ripping off the idea, but like there were already people doing stuff like that, like Rec Room and Neos and VR Chat and everything, you know, so for them to, you know, kind of overpromise and underdeliver on the original Horizon concept, really, like anytime I see anything from Horizon, I take it with a massive grain of salt. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. Okay. We'll see. You know, we'll see how real this thing is, because I'm still waiting for Horizon, you know, for real 2.5 years later. And it's just, it doesn't hold a candle to everything
they said at
else.
OC6 that everyone there was going to get access, and no one ever did. Ever. Didn't happen until they're like, okay, now everyone in the US gets it. So who knows, man? You got to take everything that Mark Zuckerberg says with a grain of salt.
Stacks, do you really like not like the legs thing? Are you like no legs? I heard you mention that earlier. Chrome listeners mentioning it in the chat now. It's like, what are your thoughts on the legs of
I mean, it doesn't bother me like a crazy amount, but there's a lot of games now that I've implemented, you know, legs. So I don't know. It's kind of just weird seeing it. I think I saw an article the other day saying that VR isn't ready for legs yet, and it showed Horizon as like the picture, and I was like,
VR isn't ready for legs.
There's so many games right now that have legs. What are you talking about? There's VR Chat. There's Neos. There's, you know, there's a handful of games out there that
and
have
there's
legs.
Plenty that don't too. And like, why isn't that a huge topic of conversation for that one? Like, I feel like whenever anybody brings up Horizon, the first thing someone says is, well, if you're not going to give me legs, then I ain't going to play it, you know? But like Rec Room and Altspace, like there aren't any legs in those apps, and people spend all day in those apps, you know? Never really complain about it.
It's probably more or less like if you're a full body person and you like being able to kick your feet out or like move around or whatever. I am more of every time I get into a game, I like look at my hands. I don't know, it's just habit. I like check out the gloves, the gun, you know. But
yeah, and a lot of games have feet, a lot of games don't. So, you know, I mean, I think what it comes down to as well is resources, right? How much resource do you want to put into inverse kinematics at this point in time?
That's interesting, because I was going to say what I think it comes down to is like immersiveness and like body presence. You know, like I've played a handful of games where, sure, my character has legs, but if I spend any time looking at them, my immersion's going to break, because they're doing, like in Neos, like Neos is a perfect example, because I'll like move a little bit and my legs are like sticking to the floor over here, you know, and there's like just some like stickiness and heaviness to the feet and legs that just isn't really natural at all.
Right.
And if I pay attention to them, boom, I'm like not embodied anymore.
Unless you wear body trackers, and then then it's 1,000 times more immersive.
Right.
But
so I wouldn't be
most people aren't.
surprised if in Horizon and I guarantee they did this in Rec Room, because I've seen images of Rec Room avatars with legs on them. It looks hilarious and weird, and I'm sure they tried it with legs, and people are walking around. They're like, dude, that looks terrible.
I just want fingers in Rec Room.
Like, take the legs off.
I just want fingers. Why can't Rec Room just give us fingers? Like, this whole thing, as soon as I look at my hand in Rec Room and it's a mitten, a skin mitten, I'm done. I'm like, this is gross.
I don't even
want it. I don't like it at all. It's the main reason I don't like going in there. As soon as I look at my hands, I'm like, I hate this. I hate it. But I understand how important it is and how powerful it is that people can go in there and design things from within VR, make things, be creative, meet up, and do all of these things. Super important, you know? So, you know, two sides to every coin. So,
yeah, well, I don't know. I've said this before, you know, when I talk about like VR as a tool for self-realization. And I think a big part of that is like when you look at your body in VR and the movement of your body is accurately represented. It's kind of like if I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who feel like if you don't have trackers on your feet, then you might as well not even have legs on your avatar.
Yeah. And there is a thing for anyone that's never tried full body tracking. You're like, oh, that would be cool, I guess. Right. And then you do it and you look down and you see your hands moving and you see your feet moving and you see your waist moving and everything clicks together and something in your mind changes. There's this thing where you connect to your avatar in a way that you couldn't even perceive that you could until you've done this. And all of a sudden you are like I'm here now. I'm legit here now. It is the most wild experience. It's one of the most profound VR experiences I've had, was full body tracking for the first time. Was it enough to make me do it every single time I go in? No.
No, that's some friction.
It's
dude.
a lot of friction.
Yeah.
Tons of friction.
It is. And like the trackers, I imagine, will be replaced by like optical full body tracking, but I don't imagine that that's going to be as accurate as trackers for a long time.
I don't know. It depends on what we see here, right? I mean, we got Valve that's trying to, with their new headset, they're trying to change again how things are tracked by emitting lasers from the headset, apparently, right? So we'll see. There's a lot of things that could happen, but one, there's a cost thing because you have to be able to sell this to consumers, right? People don't want to spend 10 grand on a headset.
Yep.
And there has to be ease of use, and it has to work in lots of different scenarios
And
and
it has to
lots
not
of
suck.
rooms, and it has to not suck. It has to be good.
Yep.
So we'll see. A proper full body tracking will make you question reality more than you ever thought you could. Right? But it's also a pain in the ass. So there's that.
Well, it's kind of interesting, and I'm going to pivot things a little bit here. Without talking about the game, Elden Ring just came out yesterday, and I feel like I of course, I'm playing it because I'm talking about it right now. I feel like I'm kind of taking apart a little bit in like video game history, just with like how huge of a launch this is. There's just like so many perfect scores coming out for this game, except for when you look on Steam, because on PC it's not so black and white and beautiful and clean and crispy. There's like issues with machines not being able to handle the game, and
because everyone has different video cards, different processors, motherboards.
So it's actually
software,
mixed on Steam.
Malware on machines. There's so many variables. You cannot account for them all. It's really hard.
It is a mess, But if you look at the game itself as a whole, as it's launching from critics, people who are playing it on, I'm assuming, like PS5s and stuff like that, it's just rock solid, just like knocking it out of the park. And I mean, I've been playing on the PS5 and it looks insane, and the load screens are just flying by, and it's completely awesome. And the reason why I bring this up is because this is kind of like an unprecedented launch that I think most people are having the best experience with on PS5. And I think that this will probably be something that we see more and more as these games that are coming out, they're just like pushing the limits of stuff. When they come out on a Sony PS5, that they're hitting the marks that they need to hit, and the game's just going to run and it's going to do what it's supposed to do. And I would not be surprised if a lot of VR enthusiasts get sick of their machines and all of the issues that they're running into with their computers and slide on over to a PSVR 2, especially as we start to see some of the details that are coming out about this headset. And it's basically confirming all of our suspicions that it is indeed going to be an awesome piece of hardware.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I will probably be not using my PC VR much after this, at least for a little while, depending on how many launch titles come out with this. Because like you said, you're gonna turn the machine on, put the headset on, start a game. It's gonna work every single time. You're not gonna have to be like, oh, my sound doesn't work, let me restart and do this, and oh, for some reason this control, like, that's not how PlayStation usually works with things, and consoles work. You turn it on, you go. It's one of the reasons why the Quest is so successful. It just does what it's supposed to do. You turn it on, there's very minimal friction with getting into things. We're going to have some really good launch titles with this, I think, right? There's a lot of good stuff coming, and Sony is pushing for a lot of really good stuff. So I think this is going to be so massive.
Yeah, dude.
Just so massive for VR. And look at this thing. It's pretty, right?
Did you ever
it looks cool.
Did you ever mess around with the PSVR 1 stacks?
No, I did not. No.
There's some things about it that I've to this day like more than any other headset that I've ever used.
Yeah.
And it's just super comfortable. It's really lightweight. They just nailed the Halo setup. And of course, the first party titles, and it just has a special place in my heart. I think there's a lot of people out there who didn't do what I did and like join the other side of VR after picking up a PSVR. Like they just had their PS4, they got the PSVR, they played it, they enjoyed it, and then they got a PS5. And now they're just playing their PS5. So when the PSVR 2 comes out, I think for a lot of people, it's literally going to be like a generation gap. It's like PSVR 2, it's like the difference between a PlayStation 1 and a PlayStation 2 is going to be the difference between a PSVR 1 and a PSVR 2. PSVR 1, optical tracking issues, the controllers sucked terribly, blurry mess of visuals, no IPD adjusters, just like little things like that really held this back, that are just going to be absolutely just like the problems are just going to be obliterated. They're going to be like improved on so much, and it's going to blow people's minds.
What's the thing that me and you both probably complain about PCVR the most? I'll answer it for you.
Thank you.
Controllers.
Yeah, true that.
Right? We don't have a great controller option yet. I would say that the Oculus Touch controllers are probably the best controllers we have.
I agree.
But me and Alex like to use base station tracked headsets right now, right? It's, they're just great headsets available right now. But the PSVR 2 controllers, oh my God, these things look sick. So
they look comfy, super comfy.
Amazing. They look so good. And I have a PS5 and I've played a few things on there, and the adaptive triggers are such a game changer. Like when you're firing a weapon and it's literally kicking the trigger out and pushing your finger back.
That's going to be cool.
Or you're feeling the push of a spring or the tension of a bow or all of these different things. Doing that inside of virtual reality, the immersion is going to go up 1,000-fold. And this is going to be such a big deal. Plus you have real thumbsticks. Sony knows how to do thumbsticks, right? They know how to do buttons. They know how to do controllers. The PSVR original controllers were for their augmented reality solution before the PSVR was a thing. They just had these things and like, we can just use this.
Yeah, from the PS3 days.
From the PlayStation 3, they had the PlayStation Eye, and they had some really cool games at the time where you could like look in your camera on your TV and all of a sudden you're holding a tennis racket or something instead of the controller, right? Like this was old technology that they decided, if we're going to kind of dip our toes in here, let's just see kind of how, we already got this stuff. Let's use this. But this is a whole new ball game.
Yo, by the way, GameStop right now, $25 used aim controllers for PSVR.
Yep, I totally grabbed one because I lost mine in a move.
Yeah, we've been talking about that for a while because we had like what were we saying we were going to do? I don't know, jump into like a game or something like that on PSVR.
Well, I mean, I bought Doom 3 VFR, the PlayStation edition, because I wanted to see how the Doom people did it themselves, right? I mean, there's nothing compared to the Dr. Beef port.
It's so good.
Right, but I wanted to see what ID Software did. It's not even ID Software anymore, right? It's
Bethesda.
ZeniMax.
Oh, ZeniMax.
Yeah. So I wanted to see how they were going to pull it off, and I'm just a Doom fan, and I'm always looking for another reason to get back into my PlayStation VR. And it's one of the reasons I was so excited when Fracked came out, and I really truly loved it, and I played the crap out of that game. Man,
I would love to do some private lobby PSVR. Like if we could do like some private lobby firewall with like just like some friends, or like a Werewolves Within session, which I guess is on Steam also. Like I used to play those games all the time, man. It would be so much fun to go back and just relive them a little bit. You know?
I'm excited, man. I bought that aim controller. I was really sad when I moved and that thing just didn't make it over here.
Yeah, that does suck.
Yeah,
well, it's been rectified. Hopefully,
it has been.
Hopefully this used one is in decent shape.
Yep.
By the way, the PSVR 2 is said to have face haptics.
It does.
It does
have face haptics.
It's pretty cool.
It's got a lot of good stuff. It has face haptics. It has 2000 by 2040 per eye resolution. It's OLED screens, HDR. It's 90 hertz to 120 hertz. It does both. Full eye tracking with dynamic foveated rendering. We got the facial haptics, inside out tracking, a single USB cable, and of course the Sense controllers.
You know, I have.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah.
You only have the vest when it comes to the Haptics devices, right? Stacks.
Yeah, just the vest right now. But
Nice.
it was a total game changer just even having the vest. You know.
It is definitely a game changer when you can feel the vibrations of the things that are happening on your body in other places other than the palms of your hands. It's huge. And this will probably be a lot of people's first opportunity to experience what like a body haptic device feels like, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Getting
Especially with the triggers, the controllers, and now the face. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's huge.
Getting headshot with face haptics really like it haptics period add a ton of like urgency and like intenseness to the moments that are happening. And I remember like when the Population 1 Haptics mod first came out, it was like one of the most in-depth, awesome multiplayer mods that existed for Haptics at the time. And in the lobby, there were people that were just like lighting me up with bullets, and people were like shooting me in the face, just like relentlessly, just because like that's what a Pop 1 lobby is like. You just go in there and people are just like lighting each other up. And it was really, really invasive. Like it's already invasive in VR when people are like putting guns in your face and like pulling trigger on you, but to have it like like vibrating my face the whole time, I'm like literally like stop it, you know, like get out of here, you know, and like adding that level of like annoyance to that happening makes it so much more real, as opposed to just like the red indicator, like, okay, yeah, you're shooting me in the face, okay, stop it, to like, dude, hey, no, like and that's awesome. Like
Even when they touch you with their hands.
Yeah.
Anywhere, your face, your arms, your chest, your stomach, you feel it all. And it's wild too. You know, like you act like I've bumped into people and been like, excuse me, just out of like force of habit. And like, I'm like, oh, I can't believe I just did that.
Maybe developers will put head pats into all of the PSVR games where you can reach out and pet each other in multiplayer.
It'll be interesting to see if they're able to use some of these vibrations and stuff to cure any kind of motion sickness, where you can have a setting for motion sickness that would vibrate by your temples or something. I don't know, to somehow fix that in a way. I don't know. We'll see.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, see what happens.
Yeah.
Right. But I think the biggest thing here, there's so many amazing things about this headset besides the controllers, is, oh man, which one is the biggest thing? You know, probably the eye tracking, because being able to use a PS5, which is pretty much a bomb computer, right? And only having to render where you're looking, that specific spot in 4K, and then reduce the resolution all around. And I've used foveated rendering before, and you have too, right? Yeah. We did a Pico Neo demo at CES one year, and we turned foveated rendering on, turned it off. We could not see any difference in our vision. We could not tell that anything was being blurred around the center of the vision at all. All you saw was an immediate performance increase and a frame rate going through the roof, but you didn't see anything else. You moved your eyes around. There's no perceivable difference because the blur on the edges of your vision matches the blur on the edges of your vision in real life.
Right.
So it's like, doesn't, you know, it's such a big deal to be able to increase frame rate and performance and really get a crisp, awesome picture in a VR headset, especially with the resolution of the screens. It's going to be sick.
So what are you excited about in VR right now, Stacks? Is there anything that you're looking forward to, or anything that's got you putting the headset on, or anything that you're working on right now?
No, not. I mean, well, I recently got a job offer with a VR company to start making content for them, and I've been doing that for a little while now for Veil VR. So I've been doing that on the side, but I'm really looking forward for like in the future, like just a new headset. I kind of want a new headset, like really bad. I don't know if I want to spend money on the PS5 to get the PSVR 2, but I kind of do. I kind of don't. It seems like a lot of money, possibly a lot of money, but Yeah, I don't know. I just like going in and hanging out with friends most of the time. Like whatever anybody's playing, like if Skiva or Tribe or whatever they're playing, I'm usually down just because I like being around and hanging out with people and just shooting stuff or
Right.
kind of BSing, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And last night we were I introduced you to one of my favorite games, and I was pretty excited to do so. So we went in and played some Grapple tournaments.
Yes.
This is a fast-paced Unreal Tournament / Quake 3 style, super fast-paced shooter that just scratches so many different itches for me. Like, I love this game so much, and no one's playing it, and I don't know why. Like, sometimes I feel like I live on a different planet from everybody else.
It does suck.
I didn't hear about Grapple Tournament until you and Tribe said something, and you're like, or Tribe was like, you need to take stacks and play Grapple Tournament, and that's what we did pretty much for a good majority of last night. We were just going ham with bots. It kind of sucks because like I said, I didn't even know about Grapple Tournament, and it's a fun game. I've never heard of it until they started saying or talking about it, which kind of sucks because that means I'm sure other people are in the same boat where they haven't heard of it. But.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, anyone that follows me on Twitter or follows this show has probably heard of it. I talk about it a lot. But this game, I think its main problem is it's not in the official Quest store. This does have an App Lab release, and it's fully crossplay with PC, which is nuts. So you can have your friends on Quest, and you can be on PC. With a sick frame rate, right? And you can really have a lot of fun. And this game is just so good. It's so good, and it's criminally underrated. It really and truly is. So and the fact that this game is not on the official Quest store sends every flag up for me that something is not right over there.
Right.
There is some kind of bias thing happening. There's some kind of corruption or something behind the scenes.
There is some trash on there.
Right. There is some trash on the official Quest store.
What I'm saying,
and this game that is so good, it is so good, for some reason is not on there. And it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
at all.
It is really, it is definitely the number one thing that's keeping it back. If people could just like search it and find it, they would just buy it just because it looks cool, and then a community would slowly start. It
would. Grow. It definitely would. But having to find this on App Lab is impossible unless you know exactly what it is you're looking for and you're going in with the intent of finding Grapple Tournament. Right? Yeah. This is the best game with the worst name.
And it looks good on the Quest too. Like the App Lab version is really good.
There's very little difference between the Quest version and the PC version.
And it's a native B haptics title, so you can feel all the recoil, all the incoming damage.
Native B haptics, all the pieces, right? The face, the arms, the vest. And you can even on the Quest, you can even use the cyber shoes. So you can like run and then grapple off and feel it go through your arm into your chest and pull yourself up and be shooting people below, right? Hit the ground running again and actually run. Like, this game is so awesome. It supports all the best accessories, and it's stupid amounts of fun.
They're still trying to get on the Quest store, and these devs are still doing stuff. Like, they care a lot about this game. So it seems like, oh man, Grapple Tournament failed. Like, no, I think they're still going to keep pushing, and I think that if they can manage to get to the Quest store, that they'll be in a good position.
I think so too. I think if this gets to the Quest store, it will blow up. It will absolutely blow up.
For sure. And you telling me it had haptics last night, I was kind of mind blown with that too. It was so fun feeling like grappling around, and then all of a sudden I'm getting shot in the back by you with the dang machine gun every time. But it was a blast. I had so much fun last night playing that game, and I'm definitely going to play it again.
And everybody was using the Between Realities character customization option, right?
Actually, we both were.
And my beer hat on with the beers inside.
Yeah,
you can get the BR logo as like your face.
It's a VR headset that you're wearing while you're swinging around. It's incredible. It's great. And man, I almost feel like because we have like a piece in that game, like maybe people would think that like we're biased towards it or something. But we honestly, the reason that's in there is because I yell about this game
Yeah,
so damn
straight up.
much. Like I love this game, and I screamed about it, and the devs were like, "Yeah, let's put your thing in there." You're just like, you're our number one fan,
Dude,
you know what I
last
mean?
night I finally unlocked the Between Realities drum kit in Smash Drums.
Oh heck
Oh,
yeah,
that's
dude!
awesome.
And it looks so beautiful and I love it and it's great. And you know, I was having some issues with Smash Drums when it comes just to like the exclamation points on the drums and like the numbers, and I'm just like wasn't really clicking. But like after playing with the intention of unlocking the Between Realities drum kit and like playing through a handful of like because I asked Mr. Potham to like unlock it for me. You know, I'm like, dude, like I need to have that drum kit, bro. Like unlock it or give me a cheat code or like something. He's like, what? No, play the game and unlock it. I'm like, fine. So I did. And you have to play like, I probably had to play like, I don't know, maybe 15 to 20 songs to get enough points to unlock the kit. And in that time, something clicked where like I really started to connect with the drum kit more. And like I started to like move in a way that felt more like I'm playing drums and less like I'm playing Beat Saber, you know?
Yeah.
And I've actually been playing this game seated, which is new. Like I used to play it standing like I would with Beat Saber,
yeah.
but now I'll just like sit on my couch, you know, and I'll like play sitting down and it feels fantastic.
Oh, when you're playing drums, right? You're on a drum stool. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm going to do my my next VRTrend Magazine article, multiplayer article on Smash Drums.
Heck yeah. And this has an incredible multiplayer setup, right? Like the reason me and you never play Beat Saber together is I'm not on your level.
Yep.
And I cannot play. I don't want to ask you to play on hard and be bored when you're normally used to shredding on Expert Plus so I can play with you. But in this game, someone can be on the highest skill level, someone can be on the lowest skill level, and it's racking up the score accordingly to your skill level, which is huge.
Yep.
It's such a big deal.
And I just jumped into like a public lobby and there was like a group of people playing and it dropped me into the song halfway into it. Like in Beat Saber, like if you join a session of a song that's currently being played, you join as a spectator and you wait until the song finishes before you are able to like join and see anybody. But in this, they just immediately dropped me halfway into the song. They just like click you in and boom, there you go. Like mid song.
That's kind of cool. You
it.
can like kind of practice and warm up for that first song.
It's really what it is that there's no downtime. Like you click, you go, boom, you're playing. Like I don't have to like sit there and like twiddle my thumbs and like wait for the song to end.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons why I like it, which is why I'm going to write an article about it.
Yeah. It's a great game, man. This is a really fun game. When it comes to rhythm games, this game grabbed me pretty good. And I played this a lot for a while.
And it won AIXR. It got nominated for AIXR VR Game of the Year.
Yeah, right? This game got nominated as VR Game of the Year, and at that time it wasn't even on the official Quest store.
Right. That is pretty insane.
And this is what I'm talking about something not being right over there, where a game can do well enough and do so good that it's nominated to be Game of the Year. And Oculus is like, nope, you're not going on a store. Why?
That's crazy.
Let's look
so
at what's
crazy.
happening here, people. There's some weirdness going on at Meta.
Evil. Evil.
But yeah.
Well,
but great game.
You know, we're pretty close here.
We are. What time is it? Oh no.
You know,
No.
Stacks.
No.
It's been really great having you just chilling with us and chatting and just like, you know, being on the show and just kicking it like homies. You know, maybe I just want to bounce the ball back over to you one more time, you know, and just see like, is there anything that we haven't talked about that you wanted to mention or anything that's been kind of unsaid so far in our conversation?
I think we kind of covered pretty much all of it. I don't want to go like too far back on like my metaverse videos and stuff, but
guys,
I don't know if you want.
Let me interrupt here for a second and ask people to please go to Stacks' channel and at least click on his metaverse video. It is so next level.
Yeah, sure.
It'll
share your thoughts on that.
Blow
Stacks.
your mind.
I appreciate it. So that was kind of like I had this like weird idea, and I basically wanted to I like being able to mix reality with virtual reality in a way to kind of like get the you have to try this out, it's so good type of thing out there. And I came up with this like metaverse video style idea because that metaverse word was being thrown around, and it's kind of more of like saying this is how it kind of should be in like my eyes, like what I hope it would be. But the premise of the whole thing is I have kind of like a story that's connecting all these like really in-depth edited videos. So this right here is kind of like where my future self dropped off like a bag, and he's like, you have to try this out, take it somewhere to a quiet place type of thing. So I take it to my room. As soon as I open the bag, things start going crazy, or the bag starts twitching out, you know, and as soon as I open it, I put on the headset and I'm in virtual reality, and I'm like traveling to each game without like loading screens was kind of the premise. And I'm basically trying to find my future self. Like, what the hell, dude, this is crazy. So then if you put like this video and the Haptics video that I made together, it's going to play a story. So like I still am searching for myself. He left the vest in my office, and that's why it's floating there. And then at the end we get a glimpse of him again. So the third video I have ideas for. I'm not like super set in stone yet. But yeah, I want to be able, they're like little mini series of like how I would like the metaverse to be. And then when I'm all done with them at the end, I would like to take the videos and put them all together, and it's kind of like a little mini movie, if that makes sense.
Nice,
Heck
dude.
yeah.
I love this idea.
Yep.
Nice little story arc
cool
between your YouTube videos that are kind of like just illustrating some of the stuff that you're messing around with, and maybe conceptualizing some of it too.
Yeah.
This video coming out was my first introduction into ShortstackVR, and this is what caused me to be like, hey dude, knock knock knock, what's up, dude? You make some cool stuff.
It was kind of a weird, wild idea. I was like driving home from work one day. I was like, you know what? There was that specific song was on, and it's a copyrighted song, so that's why the video probably will never see the light of day. But
oh yeah, and that's why I'm
was
not
on my
playing
way
the
home
audio for
listening
everyone.
to the song, and I was like, oh my god, this song is freaking awesome. For like, I just started coming up with random ideas, like, you know, like you all of a sudden you're in like a creative, like, I don't know, you just start popping up ideas, and you have to go home and start jotting things down so you don't forget. And that was kind of like what happened here. And with this metaverse video, I basically laid out all the games that I was currently playing that I really enjoyed. And yeah, this is what it came out to be like.
And we keep seeing you go to your left arm and a menu pops up, right? And I know people would ask you like what program that is. Do you want to kind of tell people about that interface that you're using in this game?
Yeah, that interface actually is, I made that fully in After Effects. So everything about that, all the moving parts, all that stuff, I made it as like a template. And then I put like even the games with like the space next to the name, that's actually the amount of space that's on my computer. So like if population 1 is 9.8 gigs, that's actually like what's on my computer. So I created that hub, and then I tracked it to my hand every time I changed to games.
So sick. So sick. Someone needs to actually make that like IRL.
That would be super rad.
Yeah, this video is dope.
Or something.
Yep.
And I just want to go on record and say too that Everslot is awesome. Like you're playing Everslot, that game's super good.
I know.
So satisfying. If
it's
you don't,
really good.
if you're not, or if you're like worked through the sickness and stuff, because you're jumping around a lot, flying everywhere. It's so fast paced. It's so good.
Well, this is awesome. You know, links in the description to Stax' channel and his Twitter. So add him, you know, and tell him how impressed you are with all of his video editing skills. It's been good having you, you know, just kind of chilling and shooting it. You know, it's great having you in the community. And, you know, I know you get to hang out with Skiva all the time, but I'm looking forward to spending more time with you in the metaverse as well.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I was super nervous at first, but I'm kind of like eased out a little bit.
Yeah.
Nice. Good.
Yeah, it's not too bad, right? Like we're just chill. We're just homies.
Yeah. Just chilling. It was a good time.
Well, we are glad that you enjoyed yourself, man. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the metaverse. I assume.
yeah.
Probably like tonight or tomorrow or something.
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
All right, everybody.
It's time to get rid of Stacks.
Yeah, we're getting rid of him. Say goodbye to ShortstackVR, everybody. He's gone.
He gone.
Man, Steve wasted no time.
I know that was an accident. I
He's
actually
like-
I didn't mean to push it that fast. Actually.
Wow,
Whoops.
we wanted to say
Whoops.
goodbye, man.
I know.
Like,
Oh,
jeez.
sorry, Stacks.
Wow.
You gone.
Just like that. Never to be seen again.
My
He's
bad.
gone, baby.
My bad.
Well, that was chill, man. It was fun.
That was super awesome.
Yep.
Yep.
Just chatting about VR and
Yep.
just being homies, dude. I'm all about it.
Yep. Absolutely. And next week we have a 2-part special video series coming up. That is actually a sponsored video set from Val, which is the Virtual Athletics League, and these guys are awesome. They're doing the Val Winter Games, which is a sick esports tournament with lots of money and prizes on the line. But some of the titles that are involved in their
Some of them like aren't
tournaments-
even like esports.
I know.
It's like a way to compete in
it's
games
super
that
wild, man.
aren't even like competitive.
Yeah.
games.
Yeah. But so next week we're going to try something new, and hopefully everything technically works out fine. So, we'll see. Come here if you want to see the train possibly derail. We'll find out. Right.
Oh.
But we're going to do 2 sets of 2 guests, right? We're going to bring in Blast On and Gun Raiders, and we're going to talk about some topics, and then we're going to let them go, and we're going to bring in Epic Roller Coasters and Vertical Shift and talk about motion sickness and things like that. And we're gonna get a whole bunch of developers in here from some really awesome games, and then the following week we're going to have even more games that are incredible, and the people who made them, and it's just going to be sick.
Sweet.
I'm really really looking forward to it.
So we've got
It's gonna be
some
pretty awesome.
legit devs who are involved with the Val Winter Esports tournament coming up, and I guess that's going to be what, like 2 episodes then, or 3 episodes?
Yeah. So there'll be the episode on Friday, and then we're going to do a second episode on the following Wednesday as a bonus episode.
Okay.
So it's going to be awesome. There'll be lots to talk about with a lot of different faces on the show. So it's going to be really, really cool.
Great. Well,
Yeah.
I'm excited, man.
Yeah. One other thing I wanted to mention real quick, I did want to say that my heart goes out to the Ukraine. So,
Yeah.
all that fun stuff, man. Make love, not war.
Things suck sometimes.
Yep.
That's for sure.
And I do.
But I'm going to use this as an opportunity to feel grateful, for the things in my life that are good. And of course, I'll be thinking about anybody who is in a less than comfortable position right now, because I'm
Yep.
sure there's plenty of people out there who are.
We're thinking of you guys. Hope everything goes well. And I guess that's it until next week.
Find us in VR this weekend, people.
Yeah.
Join the Between Realities
Let's
Discord.
go.
I'm really trying to foster like a good multiplayer hub where if I can just go into there and I say who wants to play right now, multiple names pop up.
Yeah,
So-
come join our Discord and hop into our multiplayer meetup channel as well, because we pop in there sometimes and grab some people to play with. So if you're looking for someone to play and to play with, and you kind of want to play with us, that'd be cool. Let's do it.
Come and play with us.
Yeah,
This is not a request.
do it. Do it now.
Traveling Man with the quick $5 super chat right at the end. saying,
Oh, thanks.
looking forward to all the
Heck
future
yeah.
content. Bow, bow, future content is coming. So thank you, dude. And it's always great to have you here with us, as well as the rest of our chat. Virtual Steve and Jansen Fox and Wolf Raza, Paradise Decay, Chroma Snare and Lixnix and Arcanian, little Red / Ace, a little Reese the King.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
dude.
many amazing
Space
people.
Denizen,
Love
dude.
you guys.
Butter something. Thank you guys all for being here and being a part of the Between Realities community. Hang out with us, join our Discord, come say hi, play some multiplayer games with us this weekend. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
$2 super chat.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.